I hope you're all having a great day. Out in the field. I know we're having a great time here at Plexus. We've got the Leaders Retreat contest wrapping up this month, so we've got double credits this month. So just super awesome watching the last spots on the boat fill up and things like that, and people pushing for that. So still want to encourage all of you to be going for Leaders Retreat, even if it seems like it might be out of reach. Obviously, keep going for your goals, but just keep in mind, even if you don't earn a spot on the boat, if you hit those 900 credits, you still get one of those cash payouts. So that's a huge just a huge motivator right there too, right? So I just want to come on here and share some different ideas just regarding like this month and the incentive and just some things to think about as we move forward into the end of the year, right? So obviously we've got this super silver incentive going on this month, which I think is great. They've asked us not to share like the exact numbers, but last time we did a super silver incentive, which was I think back in May or something like that, March or May or something like that. Anyways, what we saw was that a huge majority of those people that actually achieved super silver went on to go gold within like the next 60 to 90 days. So it was a really, really awesome incentive, and we're hoping to just kind of keep something like this ongoing for the future so that we can continue to help kind of bridge that gap between silver and gold because it's a pretty big jump there. So anyways, I hope you guys are excited for that and pushing for that. But really want to take some time today and really just talk about silvers and growing your business and just kind of getting restarted right now. I think we're in a new season of momentum right now, and we really have been since probably May of this year. When we launched Joyome, and then we had Slim Hunger Control come out, and then obviously at convention we launched Lean. So anyways, if you're feeling like this is a new season for you, you're remotivated or good things are happening for you, I want to encourage you. Obviously, stay consistent. Number one, more than anything, is consistency. That's one reason why we've really started to do. You might see some of the coaches have done like some of our top enrollers for our region and stuff like that. Your leader over here, Cassie, was one of the top senior Ruby enrollers in my region, so she's leading by example. But it's an awesome job to her. But one of the reasons that we want to do that was to kind of help produce a lot of consistency. Obviously, it's cool to be like the number one enroller on that sheet, but I think what's most important is to just try to get there consistently, right? Because that means that you're working your business how it should be done, right? It's more important to go 3 and 3 every month than to have one month where you get 20 enrollments and the next month where you get none, right? We want to continue to replenish that pipeline. First, I would encourage you guys to stay consistent with your posting and stuff on Facebook, but I would really encourage anyone that isn't using Instagram right now to really look into using that. And the reason I say that is we've got to remember that this business is in network marketing. It's all about your network, right? And so a lot of times it's a relationship business with your network, basically, right? So as soon as your warm market or the people close to you are once you've gone through them, basically, you have to continue to build new relationships with new people, and that takes time, and it's difficult to come across those people. But I think that the way Instagram works and the fact that you can use specific locations, you can search by location, you can search specific hashtags, you can hashtag your own specific hashtags, right? And what that does is it allows other people to come across you, and you share a common interest, right? And that's the best way to start building a new relationship with someone, is to find that common interest. So I really think the hashtags and the way that you can utilize Instagram really helps you to be able to do that. So I'd really just encourage you all to be posting on there. But then just remember that obviously that with it being a relationship driven business, and that you have to have that relationship usually first before you can usually get those enrollments going, it means that your job is to continue to get new relationships with people. But we know that that takes time, and it can be hard to keep that exponential growth going. So it's up to you to help develop new silvers, because they're the ones with the warm market, right? And that's why that silver development percentage is the number one key indicator of the growth in your business. And by silver development percentage, I just basically mean the number of people that are coming into your organization versus the number of people that are going silver, right? And some good numbers to just kind of keep in mind would be to try to get about 10% of your organization to silver within a 90-day time frame, right? And I use that based on, let me just pull it out here for you guys to see. But if you grab the most recent ambassador income disclosure statement, you can find this in your virtual office under library. Underneath each rank where it shows how much you make on average, it also shows what percentage of people hit each rank in the company. And so I really use silver and gold as our two benchmarks here, right? For silver, we have 8.96%, so I round that up to 9. And for gold, it's 2%, right? So that means that in theory, if you can beat that company average, your business should in theory grow, because Plexus has grown every year for the last 10 years. We have yet to go backwards, and that's utilizing this number, right? This rate. Now, this rate changes from time to time. Like the year before this, it was actually 7.79, so it went up. But again, the key point is that if you can just beat this on a consistent basis and hit about 10% of people going silver, your business should grow. And I have yet to see any account that does that 8 out of 12 months that's gone backwards. And I mean, we've looked at over 600, 700 Jewel accounts and probably 500 or 600, Ruby and Senior Ruby accounts too, right? So the truth is that I just don't think that it exists out there. And even if there is one by some odd chance, again, that's an anomaly there. So that 10% number is really what you want to aim for. And again, we want to try to do that within a 90-day cycle. We recognize if you had asked me 1 year ago what my thoughts are on trying to get somebody to silver, I would say, hey, let's try to get them silver in 7, right? Within the first 7 days, first week. But I no longer feel that way. And it's because the metrics and the data paint a different picture for us, right? We've got a great 60-day retention here at Plexus, because we've got that 60-day money back guarantee. And this team has a great 60-day retention too. I mean, I check Cassie's numbers on a consistent basis. And depending on which month we're looking at, you guys are always in between 80 and 90% of 60-day retention, which is really, really good, right? That means you're keeping people for 60 days on average 80% of the time or more, right? Even some months up to 90. So that tells me that we've got a lot of people that are setting people up to see good results. The challenge is we know that we really start to lose that consistent activity in the third, fourth, and fifth month when it really becomes difficult. The 60-day money back guarantee is up, and it's hard to continue to budget that $100 to $150 every single month for Triplex, right? So that's why going silver is so key, because it helps them get their products paid for, which allows them to continue to stay consistent on the products. But even if they fall below and they just become a partial PV or something like that, right? It still becomes difficult for them to get all those products in their system, right? Maybe it's just ProBio that they're taking now and no more Slim, or maybe it's just Slim without ProBio and Triplex. And remember, our products are designed to work well together synergistically so that your body sees different, basically the best results with the products working together. That's how they're designed, and that's how they'll continue to be designed as we continue to launch more. So just keep that in mind, is we want them trying certain combinations and staying consistent on those combinations to see those great results. So again, 10% of people going to silver within your first 90 days is really the goal, right? But we know that that's easier said than done, right? I mean, how many people here have tried to get somebody to silver and they just don't do it, right? So I always try to keep this simple, right? And let's just break this down. We got to remember that if somebody is taking the Plexus products and they like them, everyone wants their products for free. And if they tell you they don't, they're lying to you, right? Unless they're already a millionaire, but even then, I still think that they want their products for free. I mean, I won't even go down that route. But anyways, they still would want their products for free, right? That's just the truth. So then we have to ask ourselves the question, okay, if that doesn't mean that they're always willing to do the thing though that gets their products for free. So let's identify what is that thing. Well, all that thing is simply sharing your Plexus replicated website link with 3 to 5 close friends and family members who will all have a 60-day money back guarantee for products that you already enjoy, right? So when you really put that down on paper, it's really not that scary or that big of a deal, right? Like, you're already taking the products, they have a 60-day money back guarantee, so it's really not a lot of risk. You're just sharing a website with them. It's not even like you have to go to their door and sell them the products physically, right? I mean, like maybe network marketing used to be done 30 years ago, right? So it's pretty simple. So then the question is, if it's simple, why aren't people doing it, right? Why aren't they taking that plunge? And so usually the main issue is that there's either some type of fear or stigma holding them back, or they just haven't had the belief yet, right? And so that's where it's your job as the leader or the network marketer to help identify where that missing piece is and help fill it, right? And that's where it really requires you to have to kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit and ask some difficult and challenging questions, right? And I think that there's respectful ways to do this, right? By simply just saying, let's say I'm talking to Cassie and she just doesn't want to share at all. She's just super closed-minded and against it. I would want to ask, hey, Cassie, what is it about, sharing these products that really help improve people's health and quality of life? Is it that you can't get behind and support and share with others? And just simply ask what that is, because if I ask, she should in theory tell me what that is, right? And then once I know what's holding her back, I can help build that belief or fill that void, right? So a couple of examples here that I'd like to just share with you is we want to try to have 5 things happen here. So go ahead, and I'd encourage you guys to write these things down. And this is just in building belief, right? Because if we can build belief, we can generally get people to share. But That's the challenge. So the first thing is we want people to have belief in their sponsor, right? They want to have belief in you, knowing that you're going to support them. We usually do a great job of this, right? That's usually why people join. The second check mark is we want people to have belief in the products, right? We want, and that can take 30, 60, 90 days, however long it takes for them to have a good experience, which is why we want them to be consistent on the products and have that subscription order on and those types of things, right? We want that good experience to happen so that they have a belief in what our products are doing. And then that's when we can also share testimonies. Everyone has a different type of testimony, right? For example, um, I don't generally share this, but like my mom's a type 1 diabetic, right? So our products do a whole lot of different things for her than they do for me, right? For me, I just got my gut a little bit healthier and I was able to lift a little bit more weight in the gym because I could engage my core better. That was simply my testimony. So the testimonies can range from, being, slightly improving how you do things, or it can be completely life changing for some people. But the point is, as soon as you start to feel some of those good results, let's start to share some other testimonies with people. Theirs doesn't have to be super grand to help build the belief, right? We can share those other testimonies that others have had that are all across social media, and they're out there, right? We know that they're out there. So you can use that to build the belief in the products, right? And obviously they're good experience. So number three, and this is the big check mark, and this is where it's like, anyways, they need belief in the business opportunity, right? Now, this one is 3 check marks in and of itself. That's why I said let's do 5, because this is where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because a lot of times it's they could either have a lack of belief in themselves, but maybe they believe in themselves and that's not the issue. Maybe they just don't have belief in network marketing yet. Or maybe they've done network marketing in the past and they believe in themselves, but maybe they just don't understand what a great opportunity Plexus or getting affiliated with Plexus is right now, right? So what I want to do is let's talk about how we can build belief in the business opportunity taking those 3 approaches, right? So first, what we want to do is we want to build their belief in network marketing. Then we want to build their belief in Plexus, because if you believe in network marketing, then selling them on why Plexus is easy, at least in my opinion, right? And hopefully yours too. And then finally, belief in themselves, right? And that they can have success if they decide to do what we're asking them to do and take that first step. So first, we want to build their belief in network marketing by helping, get rid of any objections that some people might have, right? And there's, those stigmas out there that it's a pyramid scheme, or that maybe some people have a big issue making money off their friends, right? That's usually a big one. They're like, I don't feel comfortable selling to my friends, right? So let's talk about how we can talk about this and frame it in a different way for them. So uh, network marketing being a pyramid scheme, right? This is what I would say to some of my friends is I'll say, hey, good job, genius. Yeah, you know what? It does make a pyramid or a triangle shape, just like everything else in life does, right? Just like the government, just like any corporation, just like the military, just like sports. I mean, there's one team that wins the championship, a good batch go to the playoffs, but the rest don't even go at all, right? So everything kind of makes that triangle shape. I think that's just what makes everything unique. There's less room for those at the top who are really skilled at what they do and decide that they want to work really, really hard and go above and beyond and achieve that success, right? Because and anyways, but that doesn't make it a scam, right? Just because it makes a triangle shape or pyramid scheme or shape doesn't make it a scheme or a scam, right? So how can we show them that? Well, first is that if you look at one of these charts right here, I mean you can see that more than 50% of our products are going to customers, right? But number 2 is that you can outrank the sponsor that brings you into this business, right? So just because someone's above you doesn't mean that they're always going to be more successful than you, right? You can outrank them, you can make more money than them, you can earn more than them, right? That's one of the big keys. And then also just that we've got a line of products that are helping change people's lives by following on or by focusing on one of the root key areas of health, which is your gut health and your microbiome, right? So we're changing lives in that regard. So we know that we're not, and obviously you can get into the whole pyramid schemes are illegal and that type of stuff. You can tell them we're regulated by the Federal Trade Commission. We comply with all their rules, regulations, and guidelines, those types of things, right? But then we can move into kind of the making money from your friends, right? Because this is one where people struggle, right? They're like, I don't want to sell to my friends, which is a little bit silly to me because first off, I'd much rather give my friends my money than give some stranger that I don't know my money. That's just me being real. But number 2, look, whether that relationship happens before or after the sale, it should always happen if you're selling to people, right? So like regardless, even if you decide to sign up for Plexus and you sell to a bunch of strangers, you should still become friends with them, right? I know if I owned a restaurant and Cassie was coming to my restaurant every week or every month and helping keep us in business, wouldn't it be in my best interest to make sure that I built a relationship with her, since she's the one keeping my restaurant afloat, right? So whether that is before or after they start to purchase your stuff, it you should still build that relationship, right? It should still exist. So that to me is just a little bit silly. But also, just consider that all throughout human history, we've done what we were good at, and we gave to our close network, right? So before we ever had civilizations and things like that were well established, you know we did what we were good at, and we traded with other people. If you were good at farming, you farmed. If you were an architect, you built. And if you just did what you were good at, right? And you gave to those around you. And so then if you really look at the most successful people throughout history, right, they're the people that decided to give to the world first without any expectation of getting anything in return, right? So for example, the Wright brothers, right, they didn't build the airplane with the intention of monetizing it and making a lot of money. They built it because they wanted to experience flight, the gift of flight, right? And they were well rewarded for that. You look at somebody like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. Yes, they're billionaires, and but I don't hate them because they're billionaires or anything like that. When you really think about it, Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook simply for Harvard University students, and then he expanded that and gave it to the entire world. And he did it for free. I mean, you don't even have to pay for Facebook, which is, sometimes a little crazy, right? I mean, I think he could charge us all $5 a month, and we'd probably, most of us would pay for that, right? Especially with how big Facebook's gotten. And so the reality is, does he deserve to be a billionaire? Absolutely. 2 billion people are on Facebook around the world, and whether for better or worse, it's changed the world. I mean, we've seen full on governments and corrupt tyrannical systems get overthrown because of people's ability to connect with others around the world, right? Now it's his responsibility, now that he's a billionaire, to do good things with that money, but I don't hate him for having that success, right? He gave to the world for free. And that's really all this is, right? The world is your mirror. And if you do good for the world's going to give back to you. And that's what we're doing here in Plexus, which is why I think it's so great, right? What we're doing is we're giving people the opportunity to improve their health or improve their nutrition, right, in the way that they feel. And then we're also giving them this opportunity to figure out how they can do that without having to budget for it. But also, if they can continue to improve the health and lives of people around them, they're going to see success too, right? And they're going to be able to create a nice income for their family. And then we can take that a step further by helping them, grow and personally develop and grow into leaders, right? By helping raise them up and helping them get out of their comfort zones. And we can really help them empower the lives of thousands of others around them. So you are rewarded for doing good, right? And as you rank advance, look, especially like once you get past like that gold or senior gold rank, you really can't continue to rank advance. And it's still even hard to do it, by yourself at gold or senior gold. But we see some people that are crazy good recruiters and they can recruit level ones all the way to gold or senior gold. But the truth is, it's hard to get past that point without helping raise up other leaders and helping other people achieve success too, right? Which is why I think this is such a great compensation plan and such a great industry to be a part of, because we have to help others for us to be rewarded, right? So just keep that in mind, right? The world is your mirror, and you're just giving to the world, and the world's going to give back to you here in Plexus. And the more lives you can change, the more you're going to be blessed with a nice income here. So that's the first thing we want to do, right? Let's make them think about network marketing in a different light, and just keep in mind too. Anytime you share something you like about, or anything that you like, even if there's no other brand or anything like that, you're marketing and advertising for that company or that brand, right? Whether that's Netflix or Hulu, whether that's iPhone or Android, Verizon or AT&T, or Chevy or Ford, right? I know guys that will get into full-on fighting matches because of Chevy versus Ford, right? And which one's better, right? It's hilarious to me. But and they don't get compensated for anything. So when people start to think about network marketing and they see that it's a pyramid scheme or they think it's a scam, just simply ask them, hey, like, what do you like better, iPhone or Android? And wait for their answer. And I use this one because a lot of people get worked up and they'll be like, "Oh, I love my iPhone. It's so much better, and Android sucks, and it's this and it's that." And just, hey, great. So did you enjoy just marketing and advertising for Apple, the first trillion-dollar company? Did you enjoy doing that for free? You must really enjoy working for Apple, that trillion-dollar company, for free and not getting compensated, right? So, but just keep that in mind, right? When you're sharing stuff that you like, you're not getting compensated for it, but in network marketing, you are. So if anything, doesn't the opposite sound like a scam and network marketing doesn't? It's just a different way of framing this and thinking about it. And really just ask yourself this question right now. If you could convince 10 people to all go sign up for Verizon Wireless or whatever cell phone company you guys are affiliated with, you can go convince 10 people to sign up with them because of how great the data coverage is or whatever. Why is it that they can't give you money off your bill every single month? Just, I don't know why, but ask yourself that. If you can convince 10 people to spend $100 a month, you just got Verizon $1,000 of additional income every single month. Why can't they give you $50 off your bill? I don't know the answer, but that's a good question to ask some people to kind of get the light bulb going and get them thinking, you know? So it's just all network marketing is a different way of doing business that rewards different groups of people, right? Instead of all those different salespeople and executives high up in Verizon getting, compensated, we're compensating 7 connections of ambassadors, right? We value your relationship 7 connections deep, and so you're going to get rewarded for anybody that purchases in those levels, depending obviously on your rank and all that. So anyways, those are some ideas to help build their belief in the industry. So now we can transition into why the company, why Plexus, right? If we just showed you why this is a great industry. So let's take a look at like the direct selling news or the direct selling association, right? So Plexus, you can take a look at our yearly sales or revenue on there, right? And you can see that we've always gone up over the last 10 years, but you can also see that we're ranked number 39 on the DSN, and we have been for the last 2 years. So then the question is, okay, so what about those other 38 companies ahead of us? Why Plexus, right? So this is just my thoughts on it, but most network marketing companies fail within their first 3 years. But we've only been around 10. So we're past that, infancy stage where we're not just going to disappear overnight, but we've also not been around for 50, 60, 70 years like Herbalife or Arbonne or Avon, where it's a well established brand and name where everyone knows about it, right? So it's still a ground floor opportunity here. In addition to that, too, just one thing I want you guys to consider is that we said at like convention, we had that big thing up where it showed how many ambassadors we have and all those things, right? But what I want you to think about is there was 800,000 ambassadors on there. So let's say even that number was doubled, right? That would be 1.6 million. We have a country of 400 million people. That means that less than 1% of all the people in the United States have ever tried a Plexus product. This is still a huge ground floor opportunity, and that doesn't even factor in Canada and the other markets that we're going to start to be expanding into, right? So this is still a huge ground floor opportunity where not a ton of people have tried what we have to offer, right? So that's the first thing. But then I would look at some of the other companies that we're competing with, right? So for example, I'm going to grab Isagenix, right? They're another network marketing company. They're based out of Arizona, and they sell supplements related to health and nutrition and fitness, right? So similar to us. They're beating us by roughly about $100 million in sales per year, right? But when you start to look at that, they've been in business for 20 years, right? So twice as long as we have. They are in about 30 different countries. We're officially in 2, and we really just got in that second country earlier this year, right? Then you start to look at how many different products or SKUs that they have that leave their warehouse or their building. They've got over 120. We've only got 30, right? So this company that's been around for twice as long with 4 times as many SKUs and products that are in 15 times as many countries are only beating us by about $100 million in sales. So that should tell you this is a great company to get started with because we're growing and we're growing quickly and we're seeing some success and we're catching up to these big names that have been around for a long time and have had well-established, success in this industry, right? So then, from there, I'd want to look at, okay, let's look at most network marketing companies that are at $1 billion. Most network marketing companies, and there's roughly about 30 of them or so that are at $1 billion in sales. Most of them do around 40% or more of their sales internationally, right? So if you just do the math there, that means that they're doing roughly about $600 million of sales out of their billion in the United States. Well, if you look at where we're doing our sales in the United States, we're doing about like 95, 98. That changes. It's probably more now that we've opened in Canada, but we were doing about 97, 98% of our sales in the United States, right? And we were at $600 million in sales almost, right? So that's pretty significant. That tells us we're doing about the same sales in the United States as some of these other network marketing companies are already. So then you start to break that down even further. Okay, well, let's look at the states that we're doing business in. And you start to see that we're having success in states that traditionally don't have success in network marketing or in health and wellness. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but most people from Louisiana, if you ask them what crunchy means, they're going to talk about fried chicken and not, really clean ingredients, right? That's what their definition of crunchy means, right? So, but you start to look at it, and we're doing really well in states that don't traditionally have success in network marketing or health, right? So, Missouri, um, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. There are some other states, Tennessee. Now, there's some other ones that, we're doing well in that always do well, Florida, Texas. But some of those big states like California and New York are really just now starting to grow for us, right? So opportunities right now are endless. So we're just going to continue to grow and continue to catch up with other companies, right? So my point with that is that we want to let them know that this is a great company to be affiliated with. So then what I would do is I would move into this next piece, which is what do we sell? What do we offer? Well, we've got a product and a service. I think the products are obviously our supplements, and the service is this business opportunity, right? So we look at the business. I'm sorry, we look at the products first, which is the heart of the business, and we ask ourselves, well, is what we're do what we're is like the are the main things that we're selling, do they have a need in the marketplace? And I absolutely believe that they do, right? I mean, I don't know what you guys are seeing, but what I'm seeing is that our health is continuing to get worse and worse in the United States. We don't eat that well. We don't have the best nutrition habits, right? Um, and if you just start to look, gut health and the microbiome are really starting to become more mainstream in the health community, right? So go turn on the TV and watch how many probiotic commercials you see. I just saw one the other night. It was called Align, and so then you start to look at, okay, what companies own those multivitamin and probiotics, right? And you start to see that they're owned by some of these big pharmaceutical giants like Bayer and Pfizer and Johnson and Johnson, right? And to me, that's really eye opening because that tells us that they're obviously focused on health, right? For them to continue to make profits, it's pharmaceutical companies. They're focusing on the same. They're putting their research and development dollars in the same areas that we are to try to learn new stuff, right? So that to me is a really significant thing, right? We are on the forefront of science in regards to the microbiome, and who knows who's going to come across the next big discovery, but it just helps validate what we're doing, and that the need for gut health and nutrition and getting the right nutrients is just going to continue to grow, right? So the need is there. Then you start, and I could go on about Joyome. That's a whole other thing, but that should hopefully show you guys what the research and development dollars can do, right? Now that we're a much bigger company making $500 million a year in sales, right? It means that we've got more money to spend on that research. So that's how we were able to come out with such a great product, which blew my mind. I personally did not believe we'd be able to come out with something that wasn't already on the shelves at Ulta that was going to be that successful, but we did, and I was happily wrong because we got our biggest like bonus check ever last quarter. Each employee here gets a bonus. It's a profit sharing check, but it's a certain percentage of the company's profits divvied up amongst all the employees. Which, by the way, I'll just tell you is a great program. If every company did that, you would never hear anyone complaining about minimum wage. They do a great job of taking care of the employees here. But anyways, that's a whole other rant. But anyways, that should hopefully show you exactly where we're putting our money and our efforts and our research towards, and that it's producing some really great products for people. So then you move into the business, and I think obviously the one thing that makes the business opportunity so great is that the products are so great, right? And that people need them, and it's a great residual. It's products that you're going to want to continue to take, so it produces that residual passive income for you, where you don't have to do a ton of new work to continue to make that income, right? As long as they fall in love with the products, you can continue to reap the benefits of that. But then you look at just network marketing in general, right? It's at an all-time high in terms of the number of companies and the number of independent distributors out there in the United States. But then you just look at the internet, right? And you look at owning a business, right? Owning a business is the American dream, right? Like to be able to be your own boss and to have your own freedoms and make your own decisions. But the hardest part of that has always been the marketing and advertising and your ability to sell to other people, right? Because you generally had to go door to door, you had to mail stuff out, or you had to physically send stuff, which costs money, right? And then you would also have to market and advertise, which costed a ton of money. Well, your ability to market and advertise now is free because of social media, right? And there's tons of platforms. There's Facebook, there's Snapchat, there's Twitter, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram. There's so many other ones, and they're all free to use. And so you can reach billions of people with the click of a button. So the truth is, if you're not using the internet to do some type of running your own business, whether it's network marketing or something else like an Etsy shop or just selling on eBay or something like that, whatever it is, if you're not utilizing the internet right now to help grow your own business and try to make your own, financial freedoms out of it, you're really not utilizing one of the best, services available to the world right now. People from all over. I mean, it's crazy to. I mean, I find it mind blowing that there are people on the internet who are literally like playing video games and stuff like that, who other people will sit there and watch, and they are making. I mean, the top like video game Fortnite player right now is making $1 million a month. Who would have guessed that 10 or 15 years ago? Nobody, right? So the world's always changing, and so we got to continue to innovate and do those types of things. And that's right now what we're seeing with the internet is that this is a huge opportunity for people to own their own businesses. So we know that network marketing is at an all-time high. So then you just finally look at the compensation plan, and the compensation plan is one of the best in the industry, right? And I think what makes it so great is the fact that out of $100 in PV that you spend, 50 of it comes to corporate, and the other 50 goes out to the entire field, right? So it's a very generous comp plan where our executives and our leaders here are willing to take less up front, and knowing that if they give more back to all of you, that it'll make more profits for us in the long run, because more and more people will continue to work and continue to go and want to share these things because of the lives that are being changed because of the financial opportunity there, right? So those are some ideas to kind of build their belief in why Plexus once they're bought into why network marketing, and then finally them, right? And that's where you just need to build the belief in them, right? And the fact that you can let them know that, hey, you meet all the qualifications to be successful, and the only qualification to being successful in Plexus is that you like the products. And actually, to be honest, it's not even a requirement, I guess. But I would imagine it'd be pretty hard to be successful if you didn't actually like the products. But I guess technically you don't have to. But from there, they meet all the qualifications, right? We have diamond ambassadors that can't tell you a ton about lactobacillus or bifidobacterium, or I could tell you diamonds that don't know anything about traditional sales, and from Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy, right? They're not necessarily sales gurus with all these different tactics and lines and things like that, right? Now, if your goal is to become a diamond ambassador, I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't learn about the products and the ingredients. I definitely think you should learn about what you're selling. But to start to have a nice residual income, to make it to gold or senior gold or something like that, you don't have to know everything about these products. You don't have to know everything about sales. You just have to care about people and like the products. And that's what you want to build their belief in, right? So that they know that, and also let them know that, hey, when you get going and you start posting, we just want you to stay consistent. And whether you get a sale or an enrollment over the first couple of posts is really not the end of the world, right? Because it's about staying consistent so that people can see your passion. And this is the final thing that I really want to leave you guys with, and then we'll open up for questions or whatever. But a lot of times people are afraid of looking salesy to their network, right? And so they'll go post one time on Facebook, and then they don't get any likes or nobody signs up, and so they don't post again, right? Because they don't want to look salesy. But what they don't understand is that by just simply posting one time, you actually look so dang salesy, it's not even funny, because it looks like you're attached to the outcome. The outcome was that no one signed up, and so now you're discouraged because you didn't make the sale, right? At the end of the day, that's why you're not posting again, because you didn't make the sale, right? So that looks like you're salesy. If you just continue to post away and you're detached from the outcome and you don't care whether anyone likes it or whether anyone enrolls, you're just passionate and you're sharing, and that's what other people are going to be attracted to, and that's what's going to show them that you've got something unique to offer them. But if you're just attached to the outcome, then you're becoming the very thing that you were hoping not to look like. So those are some ideas I just want to share with you guys on helping get people to silver. And the last thing that I want to say here too before we open up for questions is that I'd really encourage you for this month and the couple of months moving forward, while we've got this super silver incentive, to really just try to push. I'm going to say fast start gold. I'm serious, and what I mean by this is if you get 3 people to sign up, you can fast start gold by simply get 3 people and go silver. Have those 3 people do the same exact thing and go silver, and now you're a super silver, right? Because you've got 3 level 1s and 9 level 2s, right? Then if you take that one step further and you have all those level 2s go super silver as well by having their people go silver, then you become a senior, or you become a gold, right? And you've just fast started gold potentially if you're brand new, right? By only enrolling 3 people. And you're teaching these people the right way to build from the get-go, which is through duplication, right? Where I always say there's a couple of different ways to go gold, right? You can go sign 20 level 1s, or you can go sign 5 people and help them all go silver. I prefer the signing 5 people and helping them all go silver route as opposed to the 20 level 1s. Usually it's somewhere in between, but ideally we don't want you to see. I wouldn't want you. I mean, however you decide to get to gold is how you get to gold, right? Whatever's, because I get it. Some people have a huge network and they can get 20 people to say yes right away. But then your next goal should be to try to get them all silver. But ideally, you'd want to be somewhere around like 10 people to be gold, right? We don't want more. I would encourage that half or less of your points should be coming from your own level 1s, and the rest should be duplication. That's just my best recommendation so that you don't get burnt out. But and the best way to not get burnt out is to help breathe this belief and build it breathe it into other people. So now I will just open up this chat really quick and see if I can answer any questions. How do we go about building a market on Instagram with genuine connections to pull into our warm markets? It's hard for me to cold message with Instagram. Yeah, I understand, Christy. It is difficult. So the first thing that I would encourage you to do is first, I think it's all about finding a common interest, right? So for me, what I would be doing is, where's my dang lanyard? So I'm a Colts fan, right? So if I was gonna make a post about Plexus, right, I would want to make sure that like somewhere I already drank it for the day, but let's just say my Slim was in here, right? Maybe I'm making a fitness post or something like that, but somewhere visible in the background, like my you can't even see it, but like my Colts lanyard, I snatched this. But anyways, if this is visible, I can hashtag Colts, I can hashtag football, I can do those types of things, and now I have the opportunity for an Indianapolis Colts fan to come across my post. He might or might not like it, or maybe he sees it, maybe he doesn't. But the idea is that the more times that I do this, the more people are going to come across it, the better chance I have of reaching out. If somebody likes my post about Plexus or anything like that, I can reach out with a message and just say, hey, I'm not sure if you were just supporting me and showing, some love on my post, or if you were genuinely, interested in trying this, but in case you were, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to reach out. But if you're just, and hey, if they're just supporting your business, hey, thank you so much for supporting me, even though you're not interested in doing this, right? I really appreciate that. And maybe put them in your back pocket, and hopefully you can get them at a later date as you continue to just post and build belief, right? But that's where I would just follow them, like their stuff, and just genuinely ask them questions, right? Really get to know them. And I think that's the key, is we actually really have to care about the person, right? If you don't actually care and you're just asking the questions to ask the questions, you're not going to see the same type of success, unfortunately. The people that truthfully, I mean, you look at some of these top diamonds, they generally they just love people. I mean, I'll use some examples in your upline here, but like Tamara Holloway, I think is one of the top diamond ambassadors in all of Plexus. She loves human beings. Like she just loves people, right? And it's her love for people that I think draw other people in. But anyway, so I just continue to post consistently. And the thing to know is that Instagram is owned by Facebook now, right? So the same type of algorithms apply. Each time you get a like on your photo on Instagram from somebody that isn't currently following you, it's teaching that algorithm that people outside of your network want to see your posts, right? So the more you do that and the more likes you continue to gather over time, the more likely it is to pop up on that page where like people can discover posts that they aren't, from people that they aren't following. So just continue. So, but that's the idea, is you got to stay consistent and keep posting, even if you don't get a ton of likes right away. You just keep going. Even if you're only getting one or two from people that aren't following you, it's teaching that algorithm over time. And I would also encourage you to go on YouTube and check out Diamond Ambassador Rebecca Folks, her Instagram training that she did for us. She's probably, I mean, outside of Bridget Ryan, I'd say probably one of the top diamonds at using Instagram. And I would say she's been one of our top enrollers for diamonds, you know, for the last like 6 months or so. And she's gotten most of her enrollments from Instagram. And so I would just encourage you to watch her video. It's like a 30-minute training, and she really walks through how she uses stories and hashtags and things like that. So hopefully that helps. But, looks like that was the only question in the chat. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to like unmute yourself or just type in the chat or anything like that. No questions, huh?
Okay, I have
You're
a
all
question.
shy?
No, I guess they are. I'm
Okay.
going to pull them out here in a minute if they don't. But what are you seeing with training everybody that is working well? Since obviously you talk to a lot of the coaches and stuff like that, what's working well right now that you're seeing in the industry?
I mean, truthfully, I would say Instagram is the big one. You know, as far as like Plexus specific right now, I think we're in a unique time right now where, um, look, all the science is there to support how great of a product XOS is, right? It's great, Slim XOS. It's great for your microbiome. It's great, right? However, it makes you feel good, but you don't always see those physical results as quickly, right? But right now with Slim Hunger Control, people are physically losing weight like pretty noticeably, pretty quick within the first couple of weeks or first 30 days. So you can see physical changes. Same thing with Joyome, right? You can see those physical changes within a couple of days or even a couple of weeks, right? And so that's a big one right now, is really sharing the results. And I think I really want to talk about this one as far as what's working, because there's not one size fits all that works, right? And that's I think the key that everyone's looking for here. But what you got to remember is that if you've got a testimony, right, about our products, and you can demonstrate that they work, and you've got a relationship built with someone, and you share about that 60-day money back guarantee, the truth is those three factors are really helping you close that deal. And there's really not anyone else. I mean, you could get Brian Tracy or Zig Ziglar, some of the best salespeople on the planet, to come in, and they probably couldn't do a better job closing the deal than you can if you've got that relationship built, right? Because they've got the 60-day money back guarantee, so they know it's risk free, and they see the results, so they can assume that it'll work, right? Especially if you can demonstrate the success that the company's had, right? We don't with a 60-day money back guarantee. If the products don't work, we're not in business. Because if you give everybody the opportunity to try Joyum for 60 days or Triplex for 60 days, and they consume all of it, and then they ask for a full refund, we wouldn't make any money, right? So we'd have nothing left to show for it. We'd have empty bottles of product and no money in the bank. So obviously the products have to work. So that's where we just want to share that with them. But right now, I would say share the new products, Joyum, Lean, and Slim Hunger Control. But also keep in mind too that gut health is super important. But gut health isn't always the sexy pitch, if you will, right? It's not the one. Look, most people are looking to lose weight. Most people are looking for some of those superficial results. As much as that sucks, right? That's what people are looking for. Once they see results, hopefully they're more open now to being educated, and we can talk to them about the root of, taking care of their skin, or taking care of their weight, or taking care of their health or their nutrition or things like that, right? With gut health, with reducing inflammation, with getting your blood sugar at a healthy level, with making sure you're getting all these nutrients, right? So that's really it too. But also just keep in mind, the number one thing that keeps people awake at night is finances. People don't lay awake thinking about how, oh, I really got to get my gut health better, right? I mean, some people will if they've got really, I shouldn't even say the word candida because that's not compliant, but I said it. But most people don't lay awake at night like thinking about their gut health. They lay awake thinking about finances. And so if you can show them a way to earn an income here where they can feel passionate about what they're doing because they know that they're helping make a difference in other people's lives, and that they're not just making money by taking from others and giving them something that they don't need, right? That's where people start to feel guilty. But if you can show them that these products make a difference in people's lives, this is an amazing business opportunity that can help you make a great income, and you're going to change lives, that's what we're looking for, right? So hopefully that answers your question. I know that's a little loaded question, or a loaded answer, but
anybody else? We don't get Jake often, so you better speak up if you got something. All right. Well, if I have any other questions,
no worries.
Then I'll let you know. But
sounds good. Feel free to PM me or do something like that. But yeah, so hopefully I'll just leave you guys with this then before I log off, and that's that. So we've got a couple of other really cool things coming out this year before the year's over, right? I don't know exactly when, but there should be at least one new product coming out before 2018 is over. I think even potentially two. I don't know that one for sure, but potentially at least one, but potentially two products. I don't know when that's going to happen because it's a little challenge this year with Leaders Retreat not having diamonds and jewels there. You can't launch a new product without your diamonds and jewels there. That's just frowned upon. But you also can't tell the diamonds and jewels about it before a Leaders Retreat because it will leak and get out. So it's just like you don't know what to do. So we're trying to still figure that out. But I know that at some point here before the end of the year, there's going to be at least one new product. So what I want you guys to think about is right now we've seen some teams that are just crushing it. They're just climbing through the ranks. You can't stop them right now. Those teams that did what we were talking about earlier, which was hitting that 10% silver development rate, those teams that were doing that January, February, March, April before the new products came out in May are the ones that right now are just seeing so much momentum and so much success you can't stop them because they were already in that good type of habit before the new excitement got released. So my best invitation to everybody on this call would be to really try to get as many silvers as you can over the next 30, 60, 90 days, because I promise you, you're going to look back on 2018 and be like, wow, that was a pretty awesome year for products. Like Plexus really launched some good products that they hit a few different markets too, but they were very effective, good products that people saw results with. So that's all I'm going to leave you guys with. Because if I tell you any more, I won't ever see you guys again. But but yeah, so I would just say try to hit that 10% number before anything new comes out, so that when something new comes out, your team is ready to take full advantage of this, and you're all gonna just climb through the ranks super quick. So that's all I got for today. But I hope you guys have a great evening and a great Friday tomorrow, and let's make it a great August. So
Thank you
bye, guys.
so much, Jake. Thank you.
You're welcome, Cassie. Bye.